Buddy, and welcome to tonight's regular city council meeting for today, September 8, 2025. For the record, all members of council are present except, and all members of staff indicated are present as well, with the exception of Chief Holbrook and Chief Lehman, and who I'm assuming are excused by the manager.
Yes.
Very well. Next item on the agenda is the agenda approval. We have had a request from our city manager, our interim city manager, to move the staff introduction to just before public comments, to allow the staff members to leave and go home at the end of their day if they wish. Is there any objection to that, council?
Objection.
Okay, council, is there any other items on the agenda that you wish to move or remove or need to be added?
We do have a, do we have a executive session?
We do not have an executive session programmed. Does council feel we need an executive session?
I believe so. No.
I thought we
did.
I thought we did.
I'm on here.
It's on the agenda, but it doesn't say.
We have an executive session on the agenda as a placeholder, in case we need one. So if council feels we need one, we can add an executive session to this evening's meeting. But it's not got RCW attached to it, which means that we are not planning on the executive session unless we need one. Council wants to call for an executive session, we can add that to the agenda.
I don't see one on mine. I don't think we need one.
I thought that was the case from our conversation Thursday.
Yeah, that's what I assumed we were having an executive
Thought that was the
session.
one we
Okay,
did.
we can add that. Does council want that tonight?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we will add an executive session. And we're going to keep it at the end.
Mhm.
I had a meeting with the mayor.
And,
What's it regard to?
all right, other additions or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, what is the desire of council on this item?
Move to approve.
Second.
All right. Motion by Councilor Hancock, second by Deputy Mayor, to approve the agenda with the addition of moving the staff introduction to before the public comments and adding an executive session at the end. Debate on this item? Hearing none. Councilor Ripley,
Yes.
Councilor Frausto, Councilor Hancock,
Yes.
Councilor Vasquez,
Yes.
Councilor Hart,
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor.
Yes.
I too vote yes. Motion passes. Next item is invocation. Do we have someone here this evening to do an invocation? We do. All right. Please approach the microphone. I've asked the audience to please stand and then remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, we are so grateful for the opportunity we have to gather here together. Please help that we can all gather with the same mission to better Sunnyside, and please help that we can all feel thy love. And we ask for a blessing on our first responders, and we ask that we can just show kindness to one another. We hope that we can feel thy love in this meeting, and we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. All right, council has approved amending the agenda to move our staff introduction. We have a couple of staff members here who are brand new, and I'm going to allow our interim city manager to make the introductions. And I'm going to ask the two individuals to come forward and be recognized not only by council, but by the public.
Thank you, and I'm going to turn it over to our IT manager, Jafet Silva, to introduce his staff.
Mr. Silva.
Good evening. We just recently hired two IT staff to help me with all the projects we have going on. I don't know if we want them to step up front or just up to the podium.
What would council like? Step up front and be recognized by the audience? Absolutely. The citizens of Sunnyside would like to know who's doing all of our IT work and keeping our websites up and running and the other systems running.
And let us shake their hand.
And let us shake their hands. Absolutely.
So we have our IT support assistant, Leo Ramirez. He's been with us about, say, a month or two, 3. Okay. Time goes fast when you're having fun. And Michael Sack, he's our IT support specialist. And they've been a great addition to the team. They're making my life a little bit easier.
Good.
Well, gentlemen, I'd like to officially welcome you aboard. I know you've been working for a few weeks, but welcome. Jafet has needed the help. He has been doing heroic effort the last while, and to be able to bring in some help and make his life a little bit easier is awesome. And I'm excited to have you guys here. This is great. Council members would like to shake your hand and welcome you. So if you'd please give us all the chance.
Nice to see you again.
Hi, Mr. Sack. You're welcome. We'll have to share stories because like I say, I think we know people that are related. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome, Leo.
Hey, Leo. Good.
Probably.
Hey, you. It's good to see you.
Good to meet you. Welcome aboard, sir.
Big raspberry.
All right. Next item is our public comments. Note, citizens are advised that they must limit their remarks to the council to 3 minutes. Council may refer items to staff to review and or research for presentation at a separate meeting. And also, please keep in mind that it is not customary for council members to respond directly. On occasion, that happens, but very rarely. So let's just go down the list. I've got a list of names. The first one is LaDon Lindy. Please approach the microphone, state your name and city of residence, and make your comments.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, as well as staff. LaDon Lindy of Sunnyside. I want to take some time today to discuss something that came up a few weeks ago after the invocation was giving. Somebody had expressed some concerns about having a prayer at a public meeting and that maybe it wasn't in alignment with the Constitution. And they quoted a statement talking about the wall of separation between church and state. Just a way of education, I wanted to let you know that that statement actually does not appear in the Constitution. It's actually in a letter from Thomas Jefferson, which was written to a Baptist minister explaining the relationship between government and churches. So just wanted to clarify that. The same Thomas Jefferson who wrote that letter also was the main author of the Declaration of Independence, and he invokes and talks about God or the Creator 3 times in the Declaration of Independence. So it doesn't seem like he was trying to do away with God in the public square. So what was he after? Well, you have to understand the background of the time. Many of the countries in Europe had issues where they would have a state-established religion. So that if you lived in a certain country, you were a Lutheran or you were a Catholic, and you didn't have a choice in the matter. And the founders wanted to do away with that. They wanted to allow for religious freedom. And so they actually quoted, well, the amendment actually states this. It says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. That's what the Constitution actually says. I think it's worthwhile to also know that Congress today, the U.S. House and the U.S. Senate, actually open their daily sessions with prayer, as does the Washington State Legislature, both the House and Senate. So just kind of wanted to clarify what the intent was behind the Constitution and what it really means in that regard. I think if If the city were to just ask one church to do all the prayers, I think that would probably be inappropriate. But spreading along various denominations that represent the city, citizens of the city, I think that sounds like it's quite okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next name on the list is Sandra Lindy.
Well, as you know, for many years, I've been getting people to say the prayers for city council meetings, and we are going to try something new. I've talked to many of the faith leaders in our community of many different faiths about having their youth come and say the prayers. Today, we had our first young woman who came, who goes to Sunnyside High School and has been involved she's the ASB president, very involved, and she will do, as you can tell, a wonderful job doing it. I also know that both the Sunnyside High School and Sunnyside Christian School has youth that are looking forward to doing it. There's a club called the Fellowship Christian Alliance, and they are going to be happy to participate, but I will be very careful in making sure that we have many different people sharing their faith. But I think it's neat. When I thought about this and started talking to churches and had the positive support, one thing that, and then when I asked Jane, and the thing that she said to me that was so touching, I thought, this is so cool, is she said, yes, we need to show our community love and faith. And for our young people to be doing that, I think will be good. So thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I will try to do a good job continuously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, city of residence.
Sorry, please state city of residence when you approach the microphone. That's the trouble when you're so well known, you just assume that you can do that. And it's like, yeah, good catch, Ms. Hancock. The next name on my list is Casartiaga.
Casartiaga, 1090 Appaway, Grandview, Washington. Good evening, Mayor, Council. I wanted to reach out to you tonight as you prepare to decide on Mike Gonzalez's city manager position. I worked with Mike for about 5 months. In that short time, I found him to truly care for the city of Sunnyside and its citizens. One of Mike's I believe that one of Mike's strongest suits was his ability to know what he didn't know. Therefore, he would reach out to experts, consultants, and area elected officials for assistance. He understood the city's infrastructure is failing, and most importantly, how this will impact the city's effort to continue to promote economic development. Some of his top priorities included reducing crime, improving housing stock, improving customer service, improving the city's water and sewer systems. Mayor, finding a good city manager is not an easy task. Therefore, I ask that you consider this community in your decision tonight. But because it's budget time, and the longer you go without a manager, the less chances that you will have to prepare next year's budget. In closing, I suggest that you consider implementing a simple management plan that identifies goals, priorities, and timeframes for a manager to meet. And having a decision like this will increase your chances of success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Monica Niemeyer.
Monica Niemeyer, Sunnyside, Washington. I kind of wanted to touch on a couple things with 3 minutes. I'm not sure if I can. The press conference. There was talks about wanting transparency, clarity, doing a good job. There was a lot of interpretation that was twisted and misused. When it was talked about, perfect example is the evaluation, and that everything was fine with the evaluation. They cited the statements at the end that the mayor made, and I can't speak for him, but I'm guessing he gave those statements because he was trying to just simply be kind and soften up what was the firmness that was said. But 2 of you council members knew the truth about the evaluation. There were 39 questions in that evaluation. 4 were NA, not applicable. 35 questions were answered. They carry a weight of 1 through 5, meaning of the 35 questions, there was a weight of 175 points. You guys gave Mike Gonzalez 93.5. You gave him 53%. So I am not sure. I'm not saying it's up to the public listening to this. I'm stating this for the example of not being honest and twisting what's actually there. another thing I wanted to bring up is the timer on there, Jackie? Thank you, Jackie. In regards to transparency, if you're going to be transparent with the public, you should also let them know the contracts that were missing, the contracts that could not be found, the proposals that were submitted as contracts. Some of them were only one page. The fact that those contracts held no insurance or other items that were required by law. Address the and this is a request to clear up some error, to address the actual number of public records requests that were made by a council member. The interpretation that an individual has is not the same as what the city clerk reports as an actual public record. I would like to ask if that would be cleared up. I think that everyone would like to know what the truth was. Was it a smaller amount or a large one? And then I got a minute left, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I also want to point out that when you guys, some of you say he's a very nice guy and good, you sitting here know that he forged cease and desist letters and then he sent it to me and 2 other Hispanic women. And you also know that a reporter here was filmed saying he did do that. He took that action. You know he committed an offense. You know he possibly committed mail fraud.
8 seconds.
Thank you, Dean. So I'm saying and there is much more, and I'm so flustered, to be honest, I can't remember it all. But what I'm saying is that the public is going to be making a decision on what's best for their city. Please share with them all the information so they can make it. Don't give them one side. And also, really quick, we also need to know that there was a meeting about property for the city, and only one individual from the public was invited, and that was one of the council members, the bosses. Thank you.
Thank you. Sharon Dolan is the next name on my list.
Good evening, council. My name is Sharon Dolan, resident Sunnyside, Washington. My husband, Tom, Britton Moore, Monica Niemeyer, and myself have been coming to council meetings for 3 years. When it was discovered $4.5 million of a monopoly money was added to the city's budget, it created a $2.5 million deficit. The plan was to cut excess spending with a goal of coming out of the deficit in 2 years. The last year, I don't believe that budget plan was followed. The $50,000 spending authority was abused. This must be lowered. Contracts or proposals were awarded without being brought to or approved by council. Some of them are still not held as official record. Some are called events, creating liability for the city. Employees were paid over budgeted amounts. These were not brought before council, so the budget could be amended. Mike Gonzalez was great at public relations and getting out in the community, but nobody was minding the store and the employees. To have to pay $18,000 approximately in penalties on missed tax payments is disheartening. We still don't have 2024 balanced. I encourage everyone to watch study session held September 2nd. When an employee is terminated or put on leave, phones, computers should be left with employer. Our tax dollars pay for these items. The employer should have access to them. Information stored on them is subject to Public Records Act. Not giving employer this access
20 seconds, ma'am.
opens the city up for a litigation from outside entities because city may not be able to fill the records request. Let's see, I'll skip all that.
Sorry, Miss Dolan, I said 30 seconds and actually I was wrong. Go ahead. You've still got a minute.
You got a minute.
Oh,
My
okay.
apologies.
Okay, I'm going to start here because I don't know where I was. Not giving employer this access opens city up for litigation from outside entities because city may not be able to fulfill the PRR. Why did manager that is on leave give an unrestricted $5,000 grant to a Granger radio station? After press conference last week, I wonder if 2 councilwomen have community's best interest in mind. One may be missing her free lunches. The other seems to have a blurred line between her city council duties and her employer. In closing, tough decisions need to be made. Is our budget outlook worse than a year ago? Also, you must be transparent about investigation while protecting the identities of employees brave enough to come forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Martin Velasquez.
Good evening. My name is Martin Velasquez. I am a proud resident and business owner in the Sunnyside community for over 30 years. I'm here today in support of Mike Gonzalez, who came into our community with a clear vision for positive change. From the beginning, Mike started community meetings involving and held public meetings, encourage residents' participation, and make sure residents' voice were heard. While I'm not fully aware of the circumstances involving other parties, I believe Mike deserves a second opportunity. His actions were showing that he cares deeply about his community and the future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Tony Soto.
Tony Soto, Sunnyside, Washington. I am here, and you people should look at your website because it said you were going to have an executive session at 4 o'clock before this meeting. It did. It did say on there because I just read the agenda when I just came over here. Number 2. I'm going to say shame on you guys for wasting our tax dollars on this, what you're doing. You spent money on 2 city managers, on 1 investigation, and all this other wasted stuff. I don't know if you have your people that are working. This is not, to me, this is not the way to run the city. By you guys doing that stuff, come on, it's money that you're going to be taking out of our tax money. You should be watching our purse strings like you watch your own. And by the way, I'm the one that commented about the invocation that you guys do here. Yes, I don't believe government and religion should mix. Okay?
Thank you. Ms. Kennard.
Good evening, City Council. I have no notes, but
State your name and
I'm sorry, I'm Sis Kennard, and I'm from Sunnyside, Washington. And not only do I want to show you where I'm from, but I want to tell you what I've been doing. I am the former manager of the Sunnyside Food Bank that is very successful and serves over 1,200 people a week. I am the president of the museum, Sunnyside Museum and Historical Association, and I am currently running a cat rescue program. Now, I'm here because, first of all, I want to thank all these people that are behind me that care enough about what's going on in Sunnyside to be here. Because you know what? It would be real easy to walk away and just say, let it happen. But they're not. They're here and they have something to say and they have feelings about what's going on. I also want to thank you because I can't condemn you for what you're doing. If I think I can do you better, I should have been on the ballot in November, correct? So that's not going to happen. I just want to say this. There are some people in Sunnyside that make great contributions to Sunnyside. And the thing is that it's not the kids out there playing soccer. It's the old people like me. I'm 75 years old. It's the old people like Greg Sneeze, who's helping with the Veterans Plaza. It's those people. Please do not forget us when you are making decisions about what's happening in this community. And that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
thank you, ma'am. David Cortinas.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. I'm going to do like the prayer said, to be kind. Someone try to be kind. Okay. I 30 years as an investigative reporter across the state. I attend 5, 6 city councilman's,
Pardon me, sir. I'm going to ask for the conversation in the. Okay, this gentleman has the floor and he has the right to speak. So please, let's stop the buzz of conversation. Go ahead, sir.
thank you. Mr. Mayor, 87 days ago, I asked you, quote unquote, why you voted for an investigation on Mike Gonzalez, and you repeated, quote, I voted for the investigation so that Mike can clear his name. Then after the investigation, to bring him back to work. I'm going to hold you to that. Also, in this time of investigation's over. It's been 90 days. You asked for an investigation, the investigation is over. Your attorney advised you and told you. Nothing. They found nothing criminal, nothing in grounds of firing, nothing, nada, English and Spanish, nada, nothing. You have no grounds of firing him. And some of you are still going to vote that way. It's going to be a big mistake. You have opened yourself to a liability, not just a liability to the city. The money is not going to stop. It's going to continue to add $150,000 already. Food managers, investigation. Now we still have public that still wants to continue the investigation on their own. Get a license. Become an investigative reporter. The day that you guys decide to do, and Mike is no longer here, he's going to have to do what he has to do. And my entire investigation is going to go to his attorney. I may be there testifying. It wasn't until a few months that Mr. Gonzalez was here, it seemed like everything was going really good until there was a new appointment. That's when everything fell apart. He got your swimming pool, stayed open all summer. He went and got grants, went and lobbied in Washington, in Seattle or Olympia. The guy's been busy, and a lot of you have been beside him and working with him until one person came.
Sir.
Thank you.
Mayor, he did.
Dave Cortines, Tri-Cities.
Thank you, sir. All right, the next name, I'm going to apologize, and it's not your fault, whoever wrote their name, because you were writing right at the bottom of the page, and it makes it really difficult for me to read, but it looks like it says Ross, and I'm not sure what the last name is. See if you can see that. What does that say? Rosie?
Rosie Galvan? Does that say Galvan?
Gentleman sitting next to Cass. Yeah, that's his name.
Okay.
Where's
Toby? Toby. No.
There's no Maria. That doesn't say Maria.
Charvon.
It says Charvon or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Jose? Okay, I'm sorry. And I apologize. It was written, lots of checks, and it's written right at the bottom of the page, and it's really hard to make it legible, so.
Well, thank you.
Anyway, please state your name and city of residence and
I'm
make your
Jose
comment.
Cervantes from Sunnyside. I've been a grower. I've been living in Sunnyside for 50 years. Apple grower, cherry grower, organic, most of it. And then I changed. I mean, you just have some business, Sunnyside, Yakima, and some different places. And I used to employ lots of people, lots of workers on that. So, but you know, life goes on, and I had ups and downs like everybody else on this economy. But, you know, I'm here. The thing is, I just don't know what's been going on, wrong, right on that. But I, you know, met Mike, and I'm here to support Mike Gonzalez. Mike is the first manager that has taken the time to meet with me. He cares and wants to improve Sunnyside for the better on that. So I asked that you guys give him a second chance. He's a good man. Other than that, you know, so let's see how far we can take Sunnyside. But other than that, I ask you guys to give him a second chance. He's a good man for Sunnyside. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Britton Moore.
Good evening, Britton Moore, Sunnyside, Washington. I just want to reiterate a few things that some folks in the audience had talked about was transparency.
I think it's really important that the public know facts and information, whatever that might be. There's so much misinformation going on that it'd be really nice to have some truth and some facts. I'd like to ask, I don't believe this had occurred, but if you could maybe let us know. I don't believe that Mike had finished his ICMA requirements. I don't think that that was ever accomplished. You might want to let the public know what that is and what that means as this for a city. Also that the equipment wasn't returned. We still have a phone out there that's going to cost us $3,000 plus to retrieve that and to retrieve the information. That was something that was not returned, that was legally supposed to have been done that evening. The last thing I want you to remember, I'm sure the public doesn't know this, when Mike was dismissed that evening at the council meeting, Rob, our city police chief, had to go and retrieve some equipment. Mike gave him a message for all of you. I don't know if you remember it, but it was to F off. And that full word was used. So I don't know if you all got that message, but Rob came back to let you know that that was what he said, and he wanted to let you know that that's what it was. So I hope we can clear up this mess and move forward. Our city really needs to move on, whether that be with or without Mike, but we have to get this taken care of. Thank you so much for your hard work.
Thank you. Next name is Maria Lopez.
Good evening. I just came tonight. I say one
Please
second.
state your name and the city of residence, ma'am.
I came tonight
Do you
because
live in Sunnyside?
yeah, so right.
Sorry.
Yes, like I'm a services is here. I just come today because I hear voices outside. They say there's somebody want to put marijuana a smoke shop somewhere, and I have a family, you too, and I have a grandkids, and let's just go to and visit Sunnyside, and we want a nice community, and many people, drink or use guns, or you see the criminal has come in this, not only here, everywhere, and we can stop. We can stop something because everybody have a family. We driving in the streets, and we never know who's coming. I remember when my son passed away, somebody shooting on the 6th Street, and I remember the guys was drinking drugs, and they have a kid in the back seat, 14 years old. And my son, he passed away. He died when he was in he don't know who. And I think it's better to do something. We don't need marijuana. We don't need alcohol, nothing, no guns, because we need to keep in a nice community. If a person's need marijuana or something, they have a doctor. They can give a prescription. You don't need to get. I have many years here, and I never saw marijuana signs on the past. And now everywhere when you go, why don't you put the kind of the business? I remember one time and Grandma, my friend, say, okay, I want to meet you and me on this street. And I just parked my car there, and I never know they have a shop for marijuana place. And I saw one car parked there, like one boy, 21 years old almost, and he have more kids in the back. And I believe they share the marijuana, they share the alcohol. Like the guy that was in the car when killed my son on Fashion Corner there, they got a younger kid. And I pray the rosary sometimes, and when people's sad or something need help.
30 seconds, ma'am.
And I saw many people die with the drugs and alcohol. People when they cut the bands and everything. It's really doing something. Thank you very much for all your service.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And the last name on my list this evening is Betty Garza.
My name is Betty Garza. I live here in Sunnyside. Raised my boys. They graduated. When this council came in, I was so excited. I voted for all the new council members. I was proud. A few of them have no leadership skills at all, because if they did, some of these people that came up here to talk and seriously talking, all you do is see them smiling and laughing. You know what? I don't need anybody to smile or anything like that when I talk. Because when I speak, I only come up here every so often, but when I do, it's because I'm inspired to. A few council members here, I'm very ashamed at the fact that their leadership skills are not very good. Be a leader for your constituents, which is the people that live in your district. People you need to vote for who voted you in. But instead, no disrespect to any of the churches, I was pretty much raised Mormon, and I'm very proud of that. Very proud of it. But you do not vote for your church. You do not vote for your friends or your parents. You vote for your constituents. Please. And there's some here, and I will tell you right now, I regret the fact that I ever helped vote them in. I really do. A little touch on the marijuana. Well, let me tell you, I'd rather have my child go into a shop, buy his marijuana that is being monitored by the state, federally and everything, than to be on the street. Senora, I apologize for your son having been killed, but that's a lot of what happens when you have drug dealers out in the streets. Okay? I want to be proud of this city. I want to be proud of the council members. That's why at the next election, a few of them are going to be gone. Thank you.
Thank you. I was informed that we do have one more person on the Zoom call who wants to be able to speak as well, and that would be Deb Estrada. Ms. Estrada. Ms. Estrada, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. I just had Chelsea Demas ask if I was here as a consultant with the city or as a member of the public. I've only ever participated in these meetings since I left office as a member of the public. As a reminder, for those that aren't familiar with the RCW and the laws around executive sessions, I can only participate in an executive session if I am invited by the council. The city manager, staff members, nobody can participate in an executive session unless they are invited by council. When I participated in June, I was invited by 6 members of the council. The 7th member went out to speak with other individuals in the public without the permission of the council. At any rate, I'm speaking tonight because I am bothered by the number of social media, the comments out there on social media, the comments out there on La Voz, KNDO, Apple Valley News. That's incorrect. It's disturbing that that the city manager, when I say city manager Mike Gonzalez, is actively sharing information with the media, and that there are clearly 2 council members who are actively participating in subverting what the council as a whole is doing by stepping and misunderstanding what their role is that they are one of 7, not 2 separate individuals, but one of 7 each. They are circumventing all of you. They're going around you. They are publicly speaking out against what the council is doing as a body. They have vocalized their comments with in support of Mr. Gonzalez. They have actively put information out on their personal social media pages that they claim are their personal pages. No, I'm sorry, you don't get to claim that. I have discussed this with multiple city clerks over the state of Washington. This is so incredibly disturbing that this is going on. That two council members think that they have permission to do this, to speak on behalf. It speaks
30
against your
seconds, ma'am.
council code of conduct and everything. You have somebody in a position who has actively participated with people outside of the scope of his responsibilities and his scope with you. So I stand by that till the day I retire.
And do you state your name and city of residence, ma'am?
Yes, my name is Deb Estrada and I live in Seattle, Washington.
Thank you. All right, that concludes public comments unless there's somebody else on the Zoom. Oh, all right, thank you everyone for your comments. I appreciate that. All of council appreciates your input. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Consent agenda consists of the following: payroll vouchers. Approve payroll vouchers number 11544 through 11922 and wire transfers as listed for $627,609.33 for the period ending August 30, 2025. Claim vouchers. Approve claim vouchers numbers 11803 through 12058 and wire transfers as listed for $732,312.98 for the period ending on September 3, 2025. And then the August balance sheet, which we all received in our package and had an opportunity to review. Council members, is there any item of the consent agenda that you'd wish to remove for further discussion?
Mayor, I would like to remove, just for clarification, 112491 standard paint, 609.31.
Okay, Mr. Galvan?
August balance, 2025. Just a question.
Okay, any others? Councilor Hancock, you have the floor.
Yeah, Monica, the only reason I pulled that is I believe it's a legitimate charge, but it just says invoice. Doesn't say where it went, what, kind of a little more clarity on that.
Standard paint, you said?
Yeah.
Just a statement.
Yeah, it just says statement and yeah.
So the statement was for, it looks like 4 invoices?
Okay. And I know
And I did bring all the invoices in today.
oh, did you? Okay. I know that,
Unfortunately, our computers don't save images and all the notes we get if we bring our computers is exactly what you see.
okay.
So I figured if I just brought the whole thing with me, then I can pull them out.
Well, I'm not questioning. I'm just asking that, that we get a little bit more detail on that if we can in the future, instead of it just saying statement.
In this case, Hector, was that your paint that you bought for the curb paint?
That
No,
was
it was not.
donated, wasn't it?
That was donated, okay.
Yes, sir. That was donated.
Some of it looks like for well sites, it says lacquer thinner.
I believe that they'd be repainting some well houses to clean up and paint some well pipes that need touch up.
Okay.
So,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then it was also tint to brown pipes.
Oh,
yellow
okay.
Stripe paint, or
yeah.
might be able to clarify better.
Yes, those are all for wells to clean up. Obviously, we have a sanitary survey that comes up. We do our best to make sure we are cleaning up our wells, making sure everything looks presentable. You never know when a council member might want to stop by and see one of our wells. So we want to make sure that all our pipes are painted and there's no rust or anything like that.
No, I wasn't questioning the validity of it. I was just for us to look at it and it just says statement. If it said Public Works wells or something, then that would be enough information for me.
Not a problem. So I'll make sure that going forward that we put at least some effort into getting some statement on there saying what it was for. So.
Thank you.
Yes.
That answers your question, Councilor Hancock?
Yes.
Very good. All right, Deputy Mayor.
Monica, I know at the study session, you for telling us about how you're still going back, for 2024 and 2025. How accurate are those, is that balance sheet or is this still off?
The big one I gave you guys, the budget position?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to flag it too much. Yes and no. So if you go to the very last page and you're going to see your expenses and your revenues, there's more revenue than there are expenses, which is always a good thing. The revenue is not up to date yet. There is still some revenue that has not been input. And that's just because some of the items are things that I need to bring before council with the investment funds. And then also the beginning balances are not there. So the total revenue from last year rolling over wouldn't be in this statement either.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that answers your question satisfactorily, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. There's no other questions on there. What is the desire of council on the consent agenda?
Move to approve. Second.
All right, we got a motion by Councilor Vasquez, second by Deputy Mayor to approve the consent agenda. Is there debate on this item? Hearing none. Councilor Hart.
Yes.
Councilor Vasquez.
Yes.
Councilor Fausto. Councilor Ripley.
Yes.
Councilor Hancock.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor.
Yes.
I too vote yes. Motion passes. Active agenda. I think we've done our new staff introduction. We have a proclamation, National IT Professionals Day proclamation. And I want to say I have a great deal of respect for our IT professional. Mr. Silva here has really done a huge job over the last while. I think all council is very grateful to him for keeping our computers up and running. But that's just a very small part of what he does. And so it gives me a great deal of pleasure to read this proclamation into the record. Whereas information technology, IT professionals are essential to the success of city operations, providing the technical expertise that allows staff to deliver vital services to our community. Whereas the City of Sunnyside's IT department, led by Jafet Silva and supported by Leo Ramirez and Michael Sack, consistently demonstrate dedication, professionalism, and problem solving that keep our technology systems secure, reliable, and effective. And whereas their work often takes place behind the scenes, yet their contributions are felt every day in the smooth operation of city services from public safety to community engagement. And whereas National IT Professionals Day is recognized on the third Tuesday of September, provides an opportunity to formally recognize and thank our city IT department for their outstanding services and commitment, along with any IT professionals in our community. Now, I therefore, Dean Brosen, as Mayor of Sunnyside, Washington, do hereby proclaim September 16, 2025, National IT Professionals Day. The City of Sunnyside, and urge all staff and residents to join me in recognizing and expressing gratitude to Jafet Silva, Leo Ramirez, and Michael Sack, and all other IT professionals in Sunnyside for their invaluable contributions to our community. In testimony whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Sunnyside to be affixed. Done at the City of Sunnyside this 8th day of September in the year 2025. And Jafet, I have one more recognition I'd like to give you. With the indulgence of council, the amount of work that you have done over the last year has been phenomenal. And I want to recognize you especially for that, because you have done so much for this city. And I would like to award you the mayor's coin this evening. If you would come forward so that I can do that.
Congratulations. Jafet, always trying to get in the limelight, right?
How much this guy works, so.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Shake hands. Love to. Thank you, Jafet. Thank you for Thank you, Jafet.
We have some really good staff and professionals working at this city, and recognizing them from time to time, I think, is incredibly valuable and very important. And Jafet has just gone over and above in this past while. And so I'm very grateful. So thank you so much, Jafet.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Do we have a resolution that we need to vote on for the proclamation? I think you got ahead of.
Do we have a resolution? Approve a resolution proclaiming, oh, good grief, guys.
Excited to give him.
I am. I was really excited to get that going. All right, council, we have a resolution that we have to vote. I mean, just read it into the record and it's kind of a done deal at this point, but there is a resolution to do that and
I'll move to approve.
we have a, okay, so
Second.
Deputy Mayor and we have a second by Councilor Hancock. All right, approve a resolution proclaiming September 16, 2025 as National IT Professionals Day in the city of Sunnyside.
Bingo.
Sometimes I feel like I'm really doing a good job, and then something like that happens and I realize, yeah, I'm just a human guy.
There you go.
All right, is there a debate on this item? Hearing none. Counselor Hancock,
Yes.
Counselor Ripley,
Yes.
Counselor Hart,
Yes.
Counselor Fausto,
Yes.
Counselor Vasquez,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor,
Yes.
and I too vote yes. Motion passes. All right, I'm gonna get this one right as soon as I sign this declaration. All right, a resolution proclaiming September 12 through 14, 2025 as Sunshine Days in the city of Sunnyside. Questions or comments on that? Kind of looking forward to it, so.
I have a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to thank Sunnyside Noon Rotary for picking this up because it wouldn't be happening without them. So thank you.
Yes, very good. Sunnyside Noon Rotary has done so much.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll second it.
And who was that? I'm sorry. Thank you, Ms. Ripley. All right, we got a motion by Councilor Hart, second by Councilor Ripley to approve the resolution proclaiming September 12 through 14, 2025 as Sunshine Days in the city of Sunnyside. Any debate on this item? Hearing none. Councilor Hart,
Yes.
Councilor Hancock,
Yes.
Councilor Ripley,
Yes.
Councilor Fausto, Councilor Vasquez,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor,
Yes.
and I too vote yes. Motion passes. Now I'll read it in the record in the correct order. City of Sunnyside, Washington proclamation. Whereas the city of Sunnyside has celebrated its annual event known as Sunshine Days since the early 1970s and wishes to commemorate the over 50 years that this event has been held in our community. And whereas we wish to honor and acknowledge those individuals without whom the event could not exist, including Mr. Dan Hamblett, a former Sunnyside business owner who is credited with naming the event, Mrs. Mary Lee Robinson, Mrs. Linda Egley, and the Honorable Don Hughes, former mayor of Sunnyside. And whereas the city of Sunnyside would like to thank those individuals and groups who will assist in the event this year, which includes Sunnyside Noon Rotary, 509 Insanity Basketball, Impala's Car Show, Miss Sunnyside Court, city staff, as well as the countless volunteers for whom the city is forever grateful. Now I therefore, Dean Broersma, as mayor of Sunnyside, Washington, do hereby proclaim September 12 through 14, 2025 as Sunshine Days and encourage all citizens of our community to attend and participate in the events planned to include the Sunshine Days Parade, downtown vendors, 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and the Miss Sunnyside pageant. Testimony whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Sunnyside to be affixed, done at the city of Sunnyside this 8th day of September in the year 2025. Right. Oh, Dina, you are here from Rotary? Would you like to accept this proclamation? So there's a really nice version of that paper, and then we're going to get that reprinted and get the nice seal of Sunnyside on that, and we'll get that to you guys. We've been in meetings since 4 o'clock, and so at this stage, we've been running for a while. All right. Item D, city manager resolution. Approve a resolution related to the city manager. The next item on the agenda is consideration of our city manager's administrative leave. The investigation has been completed and the council has been briefed by the city attorney regarding the findings. Based on that briefing, the investigation confirmed that Mr. Gonzalez's claims against the council member for harassment and interference, which were also addressed by the notice of tort claim filed against the city, were not sustained. However, the investigation did identify some deficiencies in Mr. Gonzalez's management, including improper hiring and failure to properly discipline. In addition, during the course of the investigation, Mr. Gonzalez engaged in conduct that further raises concerns regarding his ability to effectively continue and manage personnel and operations in the city. Pursuant to the city's employment agreement with Mr. Gonzalez, he may be separated from employment with or without cause at any time. Although there may be some basis to pursue cause, our recommendation is that the council terminate the contract with Mr. Gonzalez without cause. This means that Mr. Gonzalez would be offered a severance package if he signs a release agreement. This course of action would allow both parties to part ways as amicably as possible. Is there a motion to approve resolution number 2025-67, providing notice of intent to terminate the contract with Mr. Mike Gonzalez, the city manager, without cause?
So moved. I'll second.
Okay. All right. So we have a motion by Councilor Hart, second by Deputy Mayor, to terminate the city manager, Mr. Mike Gonzalez, without cause. Is there debate on this item? Hearing none. We are going to start with Councilor Vasquez.
Yes.
Councilor Hart.
No.
Councilor Ripley.
Yes.
Councilor Fausto.
No.
Councilor Hancock.
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor.
Yes.
And I too vote yes. In the opinion of the chair, the motion passes. All right, I'm going to read the resolution into the record. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Sunnyside, Washington, stating the intention of the City Council to remove the city manager, the reason thereof, without cause, authorizing payment of severance upon execution of a release, and stating effective date of removal. Whereas the City Council desires a change in city manager, and whereas pursuant to the professional services agreement between the City of Sunnyside and Mike Gonzalez for position of city manager dated July 29, 2024, the employment agreement, the city is authorized to terminate the city manager at any time with or without cause. And whereas RCW 35A.13.130 requires that the City Council approve a resolution stating the council's intention to remove the city manager and the reasons therefore. And whereas the city is obligated to provide severance pay consistent with the terms of the employment agreement, provided Mike Gonzalez executes a severance and release agreement that provides for full release of all claims against the City of Sunnyside, its officials, employees, and agents. Whereas, except as set forth in applicable severance agreement, the removal will be effective 30 days from the date the city manager is furnished with a copy of such resolution. Now therefore, the City Council of the City of Sunnyside, Washington hereby resolves as follows. The City Council hereby states its intent to remove without cause Michael R. Gonzalez from his appointment and employment at the City of Sunnyside as City of Sunnyside's manager and terminates the employment agreement. The City of Sunnyside shall provide severance pay to Mr. Gonzalez consistent with the terms of the employment agreement, conditioned upon his execution of a severance and release agreement substantially in the form attached hereto as Exhibit A, severance agreement. The removal shall be effective on the 30th day following the furnishing of a copy of this resolution to Mr. Gonzalez, unless A, the severance agreement is entered into between the city and Mr. Gonzalez as contemplated by the employment agreement, provided for a different date of separation from the city service, or B, hearing is requested and held pursuant to RCW 35A.13.140. The reason for removal is authorized by the employment agreement and pursuant to the desire of the majority of the City Council to have a change in the executive leadership of the city. Mr. Gonzalez shall immediately return to the city all city-owned property, including but not limited to keys, access cards, cellular phones, passwords, pins, electronic devices, files, documents, and any and all other city equipment, property, or materials. The city clerk is authorized to make the correction of scribers, clerical errors, references, resolution numbering, section, subsection numbering, and any references thereto. This resolution shall be effective upon approval by the City Council. Resolved this 8th of September, 2025. We have another resolution and we need to move on this one before we can go any further as well. And I'm going to read this one and then we're going to vote on this one. Whereas the City Council of the City of Sunnyside has previously adopted Resolution 2025-67, stating their intention of removing Michael R. Gonzalez effective either 30 days from passage thereof or entry into a severance agreement. And whereas RCW 35A.13.130 provides that upon passage of a resolution stating the council intention to remove the city manager, the council by a similar vote may suspend the manager from duty, but his pay shall continue until his removal becomes effective. Now therefore, it is hereby resolved by the City Council of the City of Sunnyside, Washington, that the City Council of the City of Washington, the City Council of the City of Sunnyside, Washington hereby suspends Michael R. Gonzalez from all his duties as city manager effective immediately. The city clerk is authorized to make the correction of Scrivener's clerical errors, references, resolution numbering, section, subsection numbering, and any references thereto. This resolution shall be effective upon approval by the City Council. Council members, I'll entertain any questions either for myself or our attorney on this item. Hearing none, what is the desire of council on this item?
Move to approve.
A second.
Okay, we've got a motion by Councilor Hart, second by the Deputy Mayor to approve this resolution. Is there debate on this item? All right, we'll go down the list again. Councilor Hart,
No.
Councilor Vasquez,
Yes.
Councilor Fausto,
No.
Councilor Ripley,
Yes.
Councilor Hancock,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor.
Yes.
I too vote yes, motion passes. All right. Moving on, item E, classification and compensation schedule. Amendment number 2, adopt an ordinance amending the classification and compensation schedule, amendment number 2, to approve the number of staffing requested for each position in the office, clerical, and supervisor positions in the finance department. Mr. City Manager.
I will turn this over to our finance director, Ms. Monica Hofstetter.
Ms. Hofstetter.
I am asking to, for 2025, to remove the finance supervisor role just to a 0, not eliminating the role, but just moving it to where we don't have that position open for the remainder of 2025, and instead hiring a second cashier up front and then opening up the position to be able to have 3 number 1 assistants instead of just 1 or 2. And the reason for this is there's a few reasons, but right now the workload and the reason why things kind of get backed up and behind is because there's a lot of people that still come in to the front office to pay their bills. And when the fire department doesn't have an assistant in there, then all of those ambulance payments have to come through our front office to take care of the ambulance payments. If anybody goes on leave in the permits department, we also have to take care of going over there and teaching somebody the permits department. So we're also reconciling for the jail, if the jail is empty, of somebody holding the cash there, and also the courts. So all of the funds are coming and funneling through our department. And if one person is sick right now, that means that another chair has to be empty because they have to fill the front always. And if we don't have that front facing full, then it's really a disservice to the community coming in and being able to pay their bills. And so that's why I'm asking for this adjustment in the number of employees and how we staff the front area of the lobby.
Council, questions or comments? Councilor Hancock.
Because I did notice one time that I went down to City Hall and the front door was locked at lunchtime, and it was because we didn't have staff to cover it. And that is a big inconvenience for people who are on their lunch hour and trying to get their bills paid and stuff. So I appreciate that.
Since I've been there was a time where it was only me and one other person because we had somebody that had already been out and then 2 people were sick. So when you're short-staffed, it can be a little difficult.
I don't like to see it when people go up to the front door and it's locked.
No.
That's not a good look.
Councilor Hart.
I was just gonna say, there is already 3 people working at the front desk. Is that not true?
So one of them is a utility billing clerk, and she's dedicated to doing utility billing, and it seems like utility billing.
Okay, so what is the other two for?
So one of them is actually, she's a number two. She's not normally a cashier. She's covering that position. She actually trains the other positions, and she's backup to people that do accounts payable or payroll or something higher up. And then what happens is they all have to rotate around, and then we only have one cashier. I opened up those three spots.
Excuse me, it seems to me that there are already three people working up front and they're all taking money.
Right, but I moved them up front because I wanted.
They already were there.
Okay.
Were they not?
Council, let her answer.
Okay.
Yes.
So I move them up front and have those positions separated, because what happens is the utility billing will have to stop doing their job. And then the accounts payable person who was sitting up there would have to stop doing their job in order to help clients who are coming through the door. And on some days when it's very busy, the line actually can go all the way out the door. And so that means we're not able to pay our bills on time. That means we're not getting all the reads done on time. It slows Hector's department down, because then the guys have to go out and do rereads, and it just has a trickle effect throughout all the other departments in the city, because they're waiting for us to respond to be able to take care of invoicing or to get the reads done and to get utility billing done on time, while also calling the customers and taking care of their bills.
So just so I'm clear on this,
Let's get
sir. No, I just.
Okay.
Just clear. So you're wanting to hire two more people?
No, just one.
Okay, so just one.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your explanation too.
Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Monica, for everything you're doing for the city right now. I think we're heading in the right direction with your leadership. And just, I had sent an email over the weekend. And I just want to make sure that, I guess we're on the same page, because this classification schedule is not the most recent one. We had updated when we added an additional assistant fire chief. So I just want to make sure that we're on the same page and doesn't happen like with the fee schedule, that we're on the correct one. So
As far as I know, Jackie did hand me this one and said that this is the one that was actually approved during that time. That I think when it was adopted when the fire chief had brought it in, he had brought in the wrong one. So then this one got adopted with the numbers on it. Jackie might be able to clarify.
I believe the one I gave you was the Word version that was available. Let's see what's on here.
And that would have been in February.
yeah,
It's
we
a
added
MSO,
an
yeah.
assistant fire chief, and this one states there's one. So there should be two on this one.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
That was a good catch. I read right over that. Didn't even pick up on that.
I
And
know
while
there
we,
was a general list, and then there was one, and so that is in there as well.
and while we've got a pause, I want to remind the audience that you are not here to converse with council members. So
Yeah, there should be two assistant fire chiefs on this one.
We can clarify that there will be two.
Yeah.
okay. Further questions or comments? And you are not filling one position specifically, and you don't intend to fill that one position for next year, right? A supervisor position?
Correct. My hope is to work with the team that I have, so that way they can get the training they need and really be able to do their jobs. Right now, they're doing multiple jobs. Like, one person isn't just doing their job solely. They're doing the job of the assistant at the fire department. They're helping out with reservations. They're doing multiple jobs. And so by doing this, it'll really be able to help them focus on doing their one sole job, so that when it comes time for Esme to take a vacation, somebody knows how to do payroll because it's kind of an important role for somebody to be able to do as a backup. And it needs to be more than one person to be able to do the backup. So this will allow me to be able to free up those people that are classified and be able to have more classified people to be able to rotate those positions.
And the finance supervisor is the one you're going to zero out for the rest of this year.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. I do have to say, if coming from me, I do like the idea of cross-training your staff so that if there is a vacancy or somebody goes on vacation, somebody's ill, those spots can be taken over. We're not just at a dead stop in that position. That shows good planning. Deputy Mayor, do you have a comment?
Yeah, just another question. Are these positions filled completely or do you have an opening?
We will have an opening. So right now I'll kind of, we have Lisa who's sitting up front, and I'm sure if you guys have come in, you've met Lisa, and she came over from the community center and she's been working as a temp with us for a while. And in that position, you don't get benefits or any like vacation days. So our plan would be to keep her on permanent as a full-time. And then we have another position that we can move up into that number 1 slot is what we're trying to do so that we can open up that second cashier position and really get everybody trained in their roles so they can start cross-training.
And I just want to say Lisa is a very good public relations kind of person. I've worked with her at the community center and down at City Hall, and she's a very pleasant, forward-facing.
Yes.
All right, further questions or comments? What is the desire of council on this item?
Move to approve.
Second it.
All right, I got a motion by Councilor Hancock, second by Councilor Ripley to adopt an ordinance amending the classification and compensation schedule to approve the number of staffing requested for each position in the office, clerical and supervisor positions in the finance department. Is there debate on this item? Hearing none. Councilor Hancock.
Yes.
Councilor Ripley. Councilor Fausto.
No.
Councilor Vasquez.
Yes.
Councilor Hart.
No.
Deputy Mayor.
Yes.
We vote yes. Motion passes. Item F, 2025 budget amendment number 1. Adopt an ordinance amending the 2025 budget ordinance number 202417 and fixing a time when the same shall be effective. Mr. Manager.
Yeah, this is the follow-on to the previous action that was just taken, Ms. Hofstadter.
Ms. Hofstadter.
So all it is by removing that one position and then adding another open employee, the difference is $7,800 for an entire year. So it wouldn't even be that much because we only have 4 months left in the year, but that's the difference for a year.
Okay, comments or questions?
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you for the budget adjustment. I think there's going to be many to come before the year's end. And so I'm looking forward to getting this all straightened out and get on track with the budget. Thank you.
We've often have at least 4 budget amendments every year and quite often 6 to 10. So we haven't had any budget amendments this year, which means that a lot of stuff has happened over the course of the year that hasn't been adjusted for, and that needs to be caught up. And that's problematic. We need to stay on top of where our budget is, and it hasn't been happening through the year. And so, yeah, we need to get that caught up. Further questions or comments on this item? Hearing none, what is the desire of council on this item?
Move to approve.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion by Councilor Hancock, second by Councilor Ripley to adopt an ordinance amending the 2025 budget, ordinance number 2024-17, and fixing a time when the same shall be effective. Is there debate on this item? Hearing none. Oh, I'm on 2 pages here. Councilor Hancock.
Yes.
Councilor Ripley. Councilor Fausto. Councilor Vasquez.
Yes.
Councilor Hart.
No.
Deputy Mayor.
Yes.
I too vote yes. Motion passes. Item G, City Council Code of Conduct Amendment. Approve a resolution approving an amendment to the City Council Code of Conduct. And I'm going to hand this over to the Deputy Mayor, who's done a lion's share of the work on this one. And if there's any changes or adjustments that need to be made, and then we're going to direct questions to you as well, sir.
Council, any questions? We went over it last week at the study session. I'm sure you had plenty of time to look it over. Any questions at this time?
Ms. Vasquez.
Yes, so this isn't the final because there's still red, right? Red markings and everything, so we're not accepting it as is.
Well,
Yes.
Yes.
The red stuff is the new stuff, and
Yes.
the crossed out stuff would be.
Okay, so like in the bottom, like one of the last, almost last page, there's red word saying Counselor Fausto suggested the statements below, like that won't be staying, right? Because that's not crossed out. So that's just what I'm
That would,
wanting to clear up, everything below.
yeah, everything below
Okay.
that would go away.
Yep.
Because yes, we are, it is a suggestion to, or a resolution to pass this. So this would be the final copy until the next time we amend it. Counselor Fausto.
I know these don't supersede RCWs, but has Julie Norton been able to review this before council votes on it?
It has not, to my knowledge, been submitted.
I sent you a copy when I send it to Jackie.
Recent copy. I know it's been discussed, it was gonna get to me, but I haven't been instructed to
Mhm.
review it yet, so.
Well, perhaps then we should amend the resolution that subject to review, we can approve it tonight, subject to review by our legal.
Yeah.
Conversations and have looked through it as you've been going over it in your 7 sessions and it has jumped out at me. It's in the end, you know. I think I'm just getting the.
Okay.
I would like to get it in place as soon as possible. We've had it going on now for many months, so.
We've talked about it for a year.
Yeah.
It was a concern for Deputy Mayor when he first came on, and so, yeah, it needs to get done, but
I would move to approve a resolution approving an amendment to the city council code of conduct.
subject to legal review. Would you add that to the resolution?
Subject to legal review.
Okay.
I'll second.
Is there debate on this item? Hearing none. Counselor Hart.
No.
Counselor Vasquez.
Yes.
Counselor Fausto. Counselor Ripley.
Yes.
Counselor Hancock.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor.
Yes.
And I too vote yes. Motion passes. Item H, America's 250th anniversary of independence. All right, this is for discussion only. I had a meeting with an individual and I left her card at home. I got home just in time to run down here to come to our 4 o'clock meeting. So a lot of the stuff I was going to take stayed there. But 2026 marks the 250th anniversary of the United States Declaration of Independence. And since 2016, there's been a national committee in place. The state of Washington's committee got going in about 2022. Obviously, Washington was not a state in 1776. And so therefore, there was no signers from the state of Washington, and we don't have an awful lot of typical American history, but this group is very interested in getting all voices involved. And so they've been speaking to the Native American tribes. They want to get the Yakima Nation to participate and other tribal groups to participate, but also geographically, ecologically, learning, studying, getting to know our region in celebration of our 250th anniversary celebration. One of the things they'd like to do is have community activities. Sunnyside is blessed with a historical museum that is nicely poised to show the history of Sunnyside, the Yakima Valley. It's got a lot of good displays for agriculture. And so I think it's an opportunity for us to form perhaps a community committee to start planning throughout the course of 2026 to do some of these activities. You see up on the screen there the key dates that they have. So June 14, it's a Sunday, there's a day of service, a nationwide effort to reinvigorate a culture of service in our communities. July 4, obviously Independence Day, that's a Saturday. Communities around the state will commemorate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. August 8, Washington Museum Day. It's a Saturday. Museums around the state are encouraged to be open and offer free or discounted admission. September 17, a day of civic engagement. Communities are encouraged to participate in activities that promote the importance of civic participation. And I got real excited about the Youth Council because, well, I think that's one of the cooler ideas that's come out of council in the last year. And so I thought this is an opportunity to get them engaged and get them involved in that sort of thing. So if we're able to find ways to get that sort of stuff rolling, I'd really like to entertain a greater discussion on that. And just hear your thoughts, council, on this item.
Well,
Deputy
June
Mayor.
14th is also Flag Day. They didn't put that in there, just
Well.
day of service, so.
Okay, but she
I
did say
think-
it was Flag Day as well, so. All
I think it's important to say it's Flag Day too, so.
right, Deputy Mayor.
Who was the person, or
I cannot remember her name. I have her card and I'll get that information to you.
would it be a good idea to bring them to the study session, maybe talk about?
I can ask if she would be willing to come. She did say she's not going to be on this side of the state again for a while, but we can certainly ask. The worst they could say is no.
Maybe on Zoom?
Yeah, or maybe on Zoom. Yeah, I do have a stack of handouts for council members as well, but like I said, I was home so short that I didn't think to grab them. And that is 100% on me.
So I think there's going to be lots of celebrations around all of the United States, and I would like to see Sunnyside participate. I think it's important to our history, and
Yeah.
little civic pride and country pride goes a long ways.
Well, I remember in 1976, which, kind of dates me a little bit, but I remember we had, like, City of Sunnyside had this competition. You could adopt a fire hydrant and you could paint it in all kinds of cool colors. We had red, white, and blue fire hydrants around the city. We had designs on fire hydrant, all kinds of stuff. That kind of stuff was fun. It was entertaining as a kid to go and see who had done what. If we can think of those kinds of things, that was just kind of cool. I don't know, do we have new rules on the painting of fire hydrants? But
I'm sure there are.
I'm sure there's some sort of state rules where we're not allowed to do that sort of thing anymore, but we got to think of something, right? Get the kids involved and make it a fun time.
Cool.
So, and Ms. Hart, you're always involved in the 4th of July celebration with the fireworks, the Lions Club involved. Maybe there's some role that you can take in all of that to.
Yes.
So, go ahead, sir.
I know the Arts Commission hasn't met in like 2 years, and then there might be some openings there, but
It's in there that we can.
yeah, we could get them.
100%.
You're talking about,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jessica?
And what would you say, Ms.
Oh,
Russell?
I'm sorry. I just mentioned that they haven't had quorum.
Oh, was it?
I think.
Okay.
But I do think that would be one place, it's been a long time since we've had a community-wide art project, like you said before. And I think that would be kind of a cool thing to do. We could get the Art Commission to work with maybe the high school's art teachers, maybe the middle school and the high school art teachers, and see what we can come up with as sponsor something from the Art Commission with some people like our city ex officio muralist, Jeff. Chase, thank you. I know it was in there somewhere.
And let's not forget that we've got some really good adult artists as
Yes,
well.
there are.
And I think we should
Yes,
give
there
them the
are.
opportunity. So I think this is the kind of thing that we can have some fun with. So often we have so much serious business that we have to take care of, but we also have opportunities here to have an enjoyable time and to celebrate and have a good time as a community. And we've got a lot of different groups represented in our city. Let's celebrate them. Let's give them a stage. Let's give them an opportunity to present and do something. And so I think that was something and I'll bring that back for discussion. Probably it's a good thing if you approve, we can put that on the agenda for a study session coming up.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think it'd be best for a study session. I did read Join the Effort. It says organizations around the state can get involved by signing up to be an official America 250 wall partner. It says the partnership program is free and available for local governments, and it continues. So it sounds like it's free,
Yes.
but I do have a few questions regarding, is this partnership just for the upcoming year, 2026?
Yes.
And just a few questions.
Right. Yeah, it's focused on 2026. It's not an ongoing partnership or contract or anything along the line. There is no funding for this, and so we need to keep that in mind as well. What we decide to do is on us.
Mhm.
So, Ms. Ripley?
Do we have any applicants for the Arts Commission?
I think it's full now, isn't it?
I thought it was. It's not?
I
No.
think Arts Commission has 2 vacancies.
Ooh,
There were
okay.
3 and you filled one on the 25th, and then the lodging tax has 2 vacancies.
Okay.
Well, we'll get out there and maybe
Do a little.
conversation about the 250 anniversary of our city. Will spring up some applications for people who are artistic to
That would be fun.
jump in there and join the Art Commission, because
I've
I
heard
think
that there's some that want to apply.
Well, I encourage them to do that. That's our next item. So
there's stuff.
there's no more discussion on this item. I'll get that on the study session and we'll flesh that out a little bit more. But I think it's an opportunity for us as a community to have fun. We need to do some of that once in a while too. All right, so we'll we'll bring that up again at another time. Items from council members, mayor's appointments for boards and commissions. All right, I was reached out to by the Housing Authority and informed that Mr. Wallace Anderson's commission as a board member is coming to an end. He would like to continue. He has not been absent from meetings. I did find out there was some concern that they had only met once this year. They only missed one meeting this year because they didn't have a quorum. So the only meeting they didn't have was their July meeting. They have met every month this year. They just haven't updated their website. So that answers a concern that somebody brought up. But if there's no objection, I can reappoint Mr. Anderson to the board.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I have an objection. I think we should open it up to see if there's other fresh ideas, fresh blood out there that can be in this housing authority.
Okay. Is that the desire of council or is that? Okay.
I would like to see Mr. Anderson reappointed. He's been really excellent on that, on the housing. And since we don't really have any say about what they do, I think it would behoove us to continue to have him on the.
Well, there is a lot in favor of Mr. Anderson. He has served. He's got a lot of knowledge because he has served for so long. And he has indicated that he is quite interested. He rather enjoys it and he wants to continue. But if it is council's desire, we can open that up.
I too, I believe we should open it up, maybe see if there's someone who's interested. If not, then it could go back to Mr. Anderson.
Okay, well, it seems as that's a majority of council that would like to see that opened up.
I think, Dean, that makes it cleaner too, when, like for Jackie, then we know when they've applied and, Mr. Anderson should apply also. And so we have an updated application because we're so far behind on that one. We let it go so many years that I'd really like us to see us have a procedural way of doing this every time they come open.
All right, well, that seems like we will direct the clerk to seek applications and contact Mr. Anderson if you've got his contact information and ask him to fill out an application as well. And we will try to get that seat as filled as soon as possible. All right, and we were reminded, we do have some openings in our Arts Commission and one on the LTAC committee. And the Arts Commission is one that sometimes gets overlooked, but it's important. It is, because of them, some of the beautiful things in Sunnyside exist. And our city flag was designed and made by our Arts Commission. These types of things are important. And so if you have any interest or know somebody who might have some interest, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an adult, we have high school students who are incredibly talented. We have adults also who are incredibly talented. And I would encourage people to apply to that. We just discussed our 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. There's opportunities there. We could be creative and have some fun. So I encourage you to do that. On the LTAC, that's the commission that meets together and looks at proposals for events. And we are able to help fund certain events, not necessarily fully fund, but to help fund certain events that happen in the city, such as Cinco de Mayo, our Sunshine Days, which come up next week, and other events. And you can participate in that. The LTAC funds come from our lodging tax. It's a tax on the hotels, camping, RV parks, that sort of thing. And you have a say in how those funds are distributed. So if you'd like to participate there, please get an application and give us the opportunity to fill those seats. Item B, council request status report. Get that up on the screen.
Yeah, I can't read it out.
Yeah, when you print it, it's really small. Dog breeding ordinance, is that the top one?
I believe so.
All right, what news have we got on our dog breeding ordinance?
So, still in contact with the kennel in Benton County. I actually got an email from her. We've been emailing back and forth. She had a few questions. I answered it. to them to my best of knowledge. And she said she was giving the answers to her director so she can get back to me as soon as possible. I know the AOC is turned over to Chief Lehman. He will be looking for an AOC, obviously, because it's more predicament to the police department who will be working with them 24/7. Plus, all my shops aren't really prepared for for an animal control. So that's what I've been doing, working with them and keeping in contact with Miss Medina. She's been helping me out, trying to make contact with the Bend County rescue animal. So,
All right. Questions?
Well, this will be coming up at our meeting that we have scheduled.
yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm hoping to have the contract back by then, or at least a draft of a contract. That way I can present it to the Public Works Committee and they can look it over. And then we can obviously come to a study session, and after I present it to the interim city manager and our legal, we can obviously entertain it and see where we would go from there.
All right, good. Thank you for your work on that. As I've mentioned before, the city has been crying for animal control and it's been a slow process. So thank you for the work you've done on that and bringing us this close. It feels like the end may be in sight. We may have
I'm very much
something in place.
hoping so I can get that off my plate and on to move on the more important stuff. So bless you.
All right.
Yellowstone. Yellowstone has right now still just looking for the sign. I've been reaching out to Yellowstone Committee. They have not returned any of my emails. So I am doing the best I can to reach out to somebody there that would be able to make contact with me. Obviously, I believe that they may be busy or it may be new turnover for them also. But yes, I am working diligently trying to get that taken care of. I know that I need to send the surplus to our legal to get that looked over by them and make sure that we are able to take that back or off the property off surplus, so it could be on our property again. So,
Okay, further questions? All right, our next item is temporary vendors who don't have permits.
yes, so Mr. Taylor and I, actually, this has been done by Mr. Taylor. This was also gonna be brought up to the committee, but I was he's been wanting to pass this out to everybody in the council so that they have time to look it over, especially the committee board. So when we come Friday, we'll be able to go over it and have your guys' comments on there. So this is just a rough draft. Once the Public Works Committee has reviewed it, and I think that it is very worthy of it. We can send it to our legal, sir. And have them remove it to make sure that it is everything binding. I will give her one right now too, since she's here. So there you go.
And the red letter is the new text, correct?
Yes, sir. The red letters are ones that we want our legal to take a look at. The yellow lettering are ones that we are somewhat wanting some clarification. So like I said, we're hoping to have this cleared up and answers for and what direction that the Public Works Committee wants us to go with this, proceed with it.
All right, questions on this item? Ms. Ripley?
Yeah, the people in the public seem to think that we're just going after all these vendors just to go after them. They have they don't realize that all these vendors don't have licenses. That's what you're doing, right? Is making sure that they all have licenses and that they're legal and that they have their health permits and stuff.
Yes, ma'am. That is what the area we're going for, to make sure that everybody is following the line as everybody else. There is no one particular vendors that we're trying to pick on or anything like that. We're, in our code right now, it is very misinterpreted as I've stated to Mr. Bridges, and Corey and I have talked, he interpreted it one way, I interpreted another way, Mr. Taylor interpreted it another. It's all over the place. So that's why we're just trying to clarify it and give our code enforcement officer a plan and a guidance on how to direct people. So like, yeah, we are not trying to pick on anybody.
I just wanted to.
Yeah, clarify that. Yes, we're not trying to pick on anybody. We're just trying to make everything more appropriate.
And I do want to clarify something. When she said, make sure everything's legal, we're not talking about their immigration status. We're talking about their licenses, that make sure that they've got all the appropriate and correct licenses in place and they're operating legally. Okay, Counselor Hart.
I just wanted to ask if you've, during the process of this, your code enforcement folks, have they found a number of folks who are without? Has there been a percentage of the vendors who are out there that don't have vendor licenses?
I can't speak for the code enforcement officer because I haven't had very much contact with him. Corey has. I know myself, I've been out on weekends, just in my personal rig, just looking around, obviously on Saturdays as nonchalant. There are some that I stopped and say, hey, just have a few questions. I give him my card, letting him know who I am and, just trying to get some follow up on there. The problem is it's hard to see them on the next day or go back during the week when, they're not there or they're at night, so there are some, but not where I can see all the time, so, but there are some, I personally, like I said, during the weekends, it's gone out. During the weekdays, it's a little bit harder for me, with budget and trying to get the fees ready and trying to keep, close on my guys. That's the one thing I've been blessed with. I've been blessed with very, very hard workers at the public works, water, sewer, parks, and my street department. They've helped me out quite a bit. So.
I just was curious about that. Thank you.
Ms. Fausto.
Question,
Yes, ma'am.
Hector and Jim, can you help clarify something for me? It's one thing to be up to par or in compliance with the Sunnyside Municipal Code. And then it's another thing to be in compliance with the Yakima Health District or any health permits. What are we prioritizing our code enforcement to do? Because I believe that searching someone or asking someone for their health permits, which they should have, is out of our jurisdiction.
Excuse me, well, we first start with, do they have a business license, right? That's our first goal. And they do have that, then that's when we request, do they have their health certificates and those things of that nature. Does that answer your question? So our priority is business license, right? Because the health district does manage those health permits.
Okay.
Right? So that's where our priority is that business license.
I could probably answer. So, Department of Revenue, every business, any business, even a vendor, has to apply for a business license. And when you're applying for a business license, you have to put in the city where you're going to be providing the business service. So if it's within city grounds, then you have to put what city you're going to be selling in. And the reason why we have to put the city is because when we have to do our quarterly or annually or monthly reports to the Department of Revenue, the city also charges us a fee. So every so often, depending if it's annually, that's one report, or quarterly or monthly, then when we pay every person who has a business in Sunnyside, we all pay a portion to Sunnyside. So I actually had about 3 business owners come to me and telling me, and they're all Spanish speaking, and they came to me complaining, saying, it's not fair, we have to since we have a building, we have to do the things the right way. And we have to pay this percentage to Department of Revenue. We have to pay annually to update and have our Department of Health licenses on our walls, because then they'll close us down. And it's not fair that there's other people who are just across from us without any of these licenses. And they're also not accepting debit transactions, so only cash. And so they've been telling me it's not fair. Like, if I could do that, I would do that too. Like, none of us want to pay those fees. So they have been echoing some of their concerns with me. And I've just told them, we're in the process, we're still figuring things out. And that's all I could say for now. But they have shared some of their frustrations, just saying, I would do that too, and then I just say, well, we're working on it.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
Helpful. Counselor Hancock.
Yeah, and there's a difference, with somebody that's doing this just part-time for a little bit of money. There's places to go for flea markets and all those kind of stuff that they have around the area. And that's, you don't have to necessarily have a license to do that. But when you're downtown, taking business away from downtown businesses and you're not playing on the same playing field they are, I think that gets to be a problem. And then the health department piece weighs in on that too. So.
And Counselor Hancock, just as a clarification, instead of taking away business from downtown businesses, perhaps competing with downtown businesses might be a better way to go. As long as they're licensed and they're operating correctly, they are competing just like any other business.
Yep, absolutely. I just mean the unlicensed ones.
Okay, Ms. Foss, I think Mr. Deputy Mayor was ahead of you.
And just to clarify, this isn't a new SMC. It's just something that's been in the books, just hasn't been enforced due to whatever language, interpretations. And this isn't something new. It's something that we're kind of changing,
Yes, it's not nothing new. It's stuff that we're just clarifying to give the code enforcement a stand to stand on. So that's all it is for it, and just clarification and cleanup that needed to get done on there.
Okay, and who was Ms. Vasquez?
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, and don't get me wrong, these places, the tacos are fire. I'm going every in the weekends, very late at night, and they're really great people. They just need maybe some direction on how to go about to obtain licenses.
Right. It's not our intention to put anybody out of business. We just want to make sure that they're all properly licensed the way the rest of us have to be, so. All right, thank you. What's the next item on the fire hydrant and parking lines?
Yes, so I have given the paint and pictures to my street supervisor. He's been delegated to hand it off to one of the employees so we can start on last Friday. They must have got busy because I didn't see any painting out there, but I will follow up on it and make sure we start getting some of those done, at least a Friday, because I know during Monday through Thursday, they're busy handling a lot of stuff. So Friday is the more calmer day that they might be able to dedicate some more time to it. So they are working on it and we will get it done. I did see some other spots that I put on there. Obviously varietal, I saw both sides, so I did point that on there. So going forward, they can get that taken care of also. There's a lot of people, a lot of yellow lines that I noticed that were faded, and a lot of people are parking where the yellow lines. So we want to get that spruced up. So.
And I also just noticed right in front of the library, and those yellow lines are important because that's where the fire hydrants are located.
Yes.
So those yellow lines help avoid the car from parking there in case there's an emergency. So there's a lot of yellow lines missing.
Nope. And going forward, hopefully next budget, we will be able to put some more money in there so we are able to go forward with painting as many as we can as the weather allows us.
Yes. Trying to avoid the firefighters from having to break residents' windows, car windows, because they will.
And I've seen them do it on videos, but yeah, I mean, in my opinion, if you park in front of a fire hydrant, that is the risk you are taking, and I would have no problem with firefighters breaking the car windows, accidentally flooding the car, and then pulling their hoses through it. But that's just my personal opinion.
Thank you.
Please don't park in front of fire hydrants. That is not where you're supposed to be parking. All right, and city vehicle markings.
Yes, so I did reach out to a vendor to get those. He did send me a quote. I am working on getting them so I can break it up into everybody's department. Obviously, most of it's going to come out of Public Works because we're not marking PD, the fire trucks, but there are two fire vehicles that will get some markings on there. It says authorized personnel only. So as soon as he gets them to me, we will get those on by our fleet mechanics.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I almost skipped the North Sixth Street parking.
To my knowledge, we are waiting till paint season comes back because those lines need to be there due to warranty, as Miss Ray had stated. So we will paint those back on once we start painting white lines again.
Thank you so much, sir. All of these things hit you and makes for a lot of work for you, but thank you for the work that you've done on that.
Do the best.
Council, is there any other items that need to be added to the request report? All right, well, if you think of anything, please contact the clerk or the manager, and we'll get those things added. All right, our next item is other reports, announcements, and or questions by council. And we're going to start at the far end of the table from me, Councilor Hancock.
Okay. I attended the port's ribbon cutting, as well as Deputy Mayor Galvan for the St. Clair Woodruff Road. It opened up, that road opens up hundreds of acres of developable land with access to it now. Port has always been an economic engine and a great partner with the city, and I just want to recognize them for what they do for us.
All right, Councilor Vasquez.
Yes, so for Lions Club, we have a monthly fundraiser. So this month, September, is the last fundraising dinner that we're going to be having. It's going to be September 10th at the Sunnyside Senior Center. They're going to be cooking up some lasagna. So come on by. It starts at 4:30 to 6:30, and buy a plate of lasagna. I believe it's salad, a dessert, and a drink. So come on by and support our community. September 28th, we have Walk for Hope in Centennial Square. It'll be starting at 3 p.m. It's a suicide prevention and awareness event, and we'll be honoring some families who have lost some loved ones here in our community. So if we can make it, that'd be great. And don't forget Sunshine Days this weekend, September 12th, 13th, 14th. Also, don't forget to support the Sunnyside High School. The Miss Sunnyside pageant event is going to be September 14th at 3 p.m. So we'll be saying goodbye to our current royalty and welcoming in the neo. That's it from me.
Thank you.
Can I just ask, it seems like that the parade, do you remember what the parade time is going to be?
7 o'clock.
It's at 7
7
on, I believe, the 13th.
Yes.
Saturday.
7 p.m.
Okay,
Or
thank
7
you.
a.m. 7
I
p.m.
knew they
Yeah.
fixed it, but I couldn't remember what time.
Yeah.
And it's a 3-day event this time, so it's
That's
gonna
awesome.
be longer. There's gonna be a car show. I believe there's gonna be vendor booths out there that Victoria Hernandez is working on, so it's gonna be great. So,
And
Yeah,
3-on-3 basketball.
yes.
And it's nice to see it growing from the Sunshine Day that it had been reduced to there for a couple of years. So thank you for that. Councilor Ripley,
Nothing to report.
Councilor Frausto,
Nothing to report.
Deputy Mayor.
So Monica shot over an email requesting a finance subcommittee meeting or asking if we were gonna have one here in the next week or so. I know in the past I've said that kind of wanted to bring those to the study session. I know the next study session is not till next month, but to my fellow finance subcommittee, I know we have a lot of work to do, and do we want to meet before the study session so we could move things along?
Can do that.
Okay.
Study session, what day is that?
No, to me for the finance subcommittee.
Yes, what day were you? I
if you-
did get a day that wasn't gonna work out, so then I asked for another, but I never got word back.
I'll get with Jackie and she could get the days
Okay,
and times and definitely have that for a council full report. I just don't want to wait until the study session and, make it a little bit further, but that's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Hart.
I just want to report that the Yakima Valley COG has a new interim executive director in Sharon Bounds. And so she'll be taking over the day-to-day directorship of the YV COG. Was talking to her about possibly coming down and doing something on the crime lab at sometime before the end of the year. There may be some changes also in our membership fees, which we'll want to know when we're doing our budget stuff. But also the general membership meeting for the YV COG is on September the 17th in Grandview at the Grandview Community Center, and that starts at 6 o'clock with social hour, and program is at 7. So I just wanted to put that out there. If anybody is interested in going, just get a hold of the Whitey Cog up there and talk to Jody Smith and she'll get you a reservation.
All right, thank you. I got a couple of things. Number one, in the public comment section, the ICMA was mentioned, and I'm not sure everybody knows what that is, and I cannot give you the exact letters or words of what that means, but it is, CM stands for city manager, and it is a certification organization for city managers. There are classes to take, and we want to make sure that our city managers are certified, are up to date on all the laws, up to date on how best to do their job. So city managers take continuing education in that organization. And it is something that we have always required our city managers to be up to date on. So that was brought up in the public comments, just to make sure that everybody knows what that is. Secondly, Ms. Devastrata was on Zoom making public comment, and I do remember there was a recent comment as it reminded me of something earlier on when people were asking about why she was invited into the executive session, and in stating her credentials, I mentioned that she had served as a consultant, but I never intended for that to be interpreted as that she was contracted as a consultant for the city of Sunnyside, because she was not. She was there. She does have expert knowledge. She had served the city of Sunnyside in the past, but she was not ever hired as a consultant. And that was out there again recently on the on a press conference, and I just wanted to make sure that was clarified. She was never hired. There was never a contract for her to serve as a consultant. She just had experience and knowledge, and that's what made it okay for her to come in, and council saw that that knowledge was going to be helpful for that particular discussion. So, and she never actually advised us to take a particular course of action in that meeting. So, and then I and other council members received an invitation from the New Life Church for a special Sunday service, and I decided to attend. And it was great. Sometimes as a council member, you do not feel a lot of support from the community. One thing I've noticed is that when you do something right, people don't say a whole lot, but when you do something wrong, boy, do you hear about it. And so attending that church worship service was very, I don't know, uplifting for, you know, to meet the pastor, to meet the members of the congregation. It is a Hispanic congregation. They have both an English and a Spanish service. And I was, and Ms. Vasquez was there as well. And I was very encouraged by that time that I was able to spend with them. The members of that congregation are very engaged, very intelligent, asked a lot of good questions, had some good points to bring up. And so I want to publicly thank them for that opportunity to be there. That was really uplifting for me.
I'll second on that. It was really great. So thank you to everyone for the prayers and just for the uplifting words.
And then Hector, what time is our meeting on Friday morning?
9:30.
9:30. Okay. I thought that's what it was, but my mind went totally blank on it. Okay. Our next item, item D, upcoming council meetings. Madam City Clerk.
Our next meeting is September 22nd, and it's our regular meeting. You'll be having a public hearing on the Fairview Heights plat, and then action following. You'll have the interim city manager agreement amendment, fee schedule, LGIP allocations, the West Edison Avenue vacation, and this reviewing the city manager spending authority, pathway ILA with City of Grandview, and discuss the continued discussion of the signature event security. After that, it's October 6th study session, where you'll have possibly a public hearing on the ad valorem and another discussion on America's 250th anniversary of independence.
All right. And Councilman, you can see that we've already got a fairly full agenda for September 22, but if there's something that absolutely needs to be added, please make sure you get that out at least 1 week prior to the meeting. And Ms. Vasquez, you look like you're ready to add something.
Yeah, so for September 22nd, I'd like to be excused. I won't be in town that week since it'll be my birthday week.
Well,
week and I'll be gone.
by all means, you should celebrate that, Ms. Vasquez.
Yes, so I won't be here on the 22nd.
I'm not hearing any raging objection from council members, so enjoy your celebration.
Thank you.
All right. City manager reports, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you. Well, my week was pretty uneventful, when you're, sitting in union negotiations all week, so which I was, but, good news is we will be bringing, to council the, what we, negotiated with the firefighters. That'll be on the council meeting on the 22nd. That'll be an executive session on that to bring everybody up to speed on that. And that's about where my focus was at last week, was union negotiations. So.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask you one thing before we go any further? Is on the list of what we have for the 22nd, do we not have to do something with Mr. Burgess' contract?
It's on there.
Oh, it was on there? Okay, I didn't see it. I wasn't fast enough. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, so my week has been very eventful. Working on the fees, so I can get it to obviously the Public Works Committee and the Finance Committee, knowing that you guys are gonna have a meeting. I've also been working on the budget, working on trying to get everybody till we can get the paying out. So yeah, and then working on getting well 10, working with the water department. So I believe tomorrow we will be hopefully turning it on and getting a water sample so we can find out where we can go and what stuff we have in there. We will take an IOC sample and get everything back to Mr. Bridges so we can see where we're gonna go.
That seemed like that happened very quickly.
Yeah.
Doing the best we can.
That's good.
My guys are working very hard.
All right. Ms. Norton.
Oh.
All right, Monica.
Working hard, we're still catching up. Right now I'm doing the April reconciliations. And last I checked with Springbrook, they requested April of last year, so they're kind of marrying me a little bit. And so we're getting there. Revenue was put in for the stuff that was missing in some of the taxes from, I believe it started in May. So if you look at the last, I think it was the last income statement you guys had received, compared to this budget position, I would love to take credit for the amounts doubling, but it was just because it wasn't entered. But the amounts literally have doubled. So if you look at the income statement from now to then. And then we did get the amount of, Miss Hancock did ask for a total amount of what we owed in fines with paying our taxes late. And it totaled $27,075.21 because the taxes had not been paid since April.
Wow.
Of this year.
Yeah,
Just in penalties and fines.
that's the penalties, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for that. It's not good news, but thank you for being transparent about it.
All right. Mr. Silva.
I don't have much exciting to report in the last week. We're just working on projects and trying to add some new tools for departments.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Jackie, do you have?
Just continue to work on records requests, working with Yes Wasco to push Sunshine Days out, which is again this weekend, like everybody's been sharing. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, our next item then is executive session. And our executive session is pertaining to RCW 42.30.110, parentheses 1I, to discuss with legal counsel representing the agency matters relating to agency enforcement actions, or to discuss with legal counsel representing the agency litigation or potential litigation to which the agency, the governing body, or a member acting in an official capacity is or is likely to become a party, when public knowledge regarding this discussion is likely to result in an adverse legal or financial consequence to the agency. No action is expected. No, I won't say, I mean, action is possible.
Yeah, action may be taken.
So, and we're gonna need 30 minutes, gonna be enough, Deputy Mayor?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna ask for 30 minutes. Thank you, everyone. And we'll ask the room to clear. We'll ask our attorney to please stay. So this is. All right, we are back in open session. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around. I'm not sure I would have felt like doing that after a long meeting, but here you are. So we're out of executive session. There's no action taken. And there being no further business to come before council and without objection, I adjourn this meeting at 8:39 PM. 30.
Four.
My goodness, what is going on with my eyes today? 8:33 is when I hit the hammer.